Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm your host, Hitesh Anand, and today we have Dr. Kanika Verma with us. Kanika is a follower, practitioner, and doctor in Ayurveda. Yes, Ayurveda is a recognized medical science in India, so she is a doctor as well. And this is our very first podcast in the series of podcasts to come, where we will bring renowned Ayurveda practitioners like Kanika, who will share their knowledge and wisdom about Ayurveda so that you can live a happy and healthy life. So, hi, Kanika. It's really nice to have you here, and I'm super excited to talk to you and ask you your journey with Ayurveda, and let our listeners and viewers know how they can benefit from your experience with Ayurveda. So to start, let me ask you my first question. How and when did you started practicing Ayurveda? When did Ayurveda happen to you?
Actually, it happened to me in childhood.
Okay.
Because I that was the kind of problems, the kind of health problems that I faced in my childhood. It set the stage for me to recognize the benefits of Ayurveda. Because my father was a radiologist, he was a qualified physician. So once I fell sick, I had fever, and normally you give paracetamol to everyone. So for fever, and I had such terrible reaction with paracetamol that I felt almost dead. I was lying in bed for 15 days, and there was such severe weakness and everything. And I was still a child. I think I must have been in 3rd standard or something. I was really very debilitating kind of feeling when you're sick, you're not able to walk, you don't feel hungry, and you see that everyone is worried. That makes you more anxious. So that time I realized that medicine, it made me sick, and this is you look at medicine to cure you. Right. That is some kind of a relief system. That okay, if I eat medicine, I will get cured. But then I was really very somehow I got a big doubt on everything. That if medicine makes you sick, then what is going to cure you? So and I don't know why, but during that sickness, it was a kind of big transition period for me. I thought that I am going to die. And everyone dies, and my father used to see some movies like, I don't know if you've seen Anand, that person who has cancer, and he's going to die. So and I just related to, probably I have the same, and nobody's telling me, but I have it. So then I started exploring. I started reading Gita, and it might sound weird. Someone gave me Gita when I was in 2nd standard as a gift. So when I was in 5th standard, I started reading Gita because I thought that probably if I'm going to die, this might help. So then that set the stage about belief in Ayurveda, because normally people don't believe in Ayurveda. But since I read Gita, I read most of the things that I could get my hands on. Okay. And then there was series of health disorders. For example, after this allergy, I've always had that breathing problem. I could not go to sleep without Utrivin by my side. I just could not breathe. And that is, again, a very, it makes you sick. It makes you feel sick.
Yeah.
It makes you feel helpless. And I can relate with a person when he says that I'm not able to breathe. Yeah? So after that, in fact, throughout, I've been anorexic, like I just won't eat. And now I was so severely anorexic that I forgot that, if there's pain in my stomach, it's hunger.
Oh my God.
So now, today I can recall that was the situation. I was severely anemic. And yes, I was, since childhood, I was a little depressed because, to think about death and all these things, it's a sign of a depressed person. So, a lot of things, because of this illness. Then I also had vitiligo. Vitiligo is a incurable kind of disorder. So, I had it in my feet, and then fortunately it was there in earlier stages. So, I had to sit in sun for a long time, taking some medicine, and then fortunately, I saw some changes, and then you can say that it can be vitiligo, it can be leukoderma, there are different kind of things.
Okay.
All right, then after that I had kidney stones, and then again you see the pain of that is too much. So I think that was whenever I was 16 years old. Before that, I had adolescent epilepsy. Adolescent epilepsy is something that can progress into a permanent epilepsy. But and at that time, unfortunately, my father was not there. He expired when I was 15 years old. So I could not ask I could not expect to buy medicines. I could not expect my mother to buy medicines, or because somehow you feel that she might not have enough, or stuff like that. And I was the elder daughter, so I always felt that I should help her. So there was one way my Nanaji, my maternal grandfather, he took us to a meditation center. And then I started meditation when I was some 17 years old. And then I saw a change. Within 2 years, the epilepsy simply disappeared.
Okay.
It just disappeared. There was no incident for 2 years. There have been no incident for past, 20 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, so I'm completely cured. And adolescent epilepsy normally gets cured, but yes, it can relapse into permanent epilepsy.
Okay.
Then I developed something else. I developed this rheumatoid arthritis-like symptoms. And these are all, autoimmune disorders, whether you look at this skin disorder which I had, or rheumatoid arthritis, and all these problems, they are somewhat autoimmune when your body is killing itself. So I used to have red flashes in my hand, and severe pain in my joints. In fact, it was so severe that I used to drag myself from one place to the other. I was not able to walk. And still I just kept on pushing things. And by that time, interestingly, I was already studying Ayurveda, but my main aim was to pass the exams, get a job, and buy medicine. Because I had that thought process that once I buy medicines, I will be able to cure myself. So I forgot. In fact, I did not understand the first chapter of Charak Samhita, which says that, you see, medicines don't cure you. Lifestyle and food cures you.
Right. Yeah.
And there is a very beautiful saying which says that if you are having proper food, you will not need medicine. And if you're not having proper food, you will not benefit from any medicines.
Right.
So I just was in such frenzy to get medicines that I completely forgot or overlooked the basic principles of it. And after that, after some time, I met one person. I was consulting online. I started online consultations because it was not possible for me to get a clinic and so on. So it was a fortunate thing. And there was a person in Norway who could not have any access to medicines because they were not available in his country, and there were lots of procedures to get them there. So I suggested, okay, fine, we don't have medicines, let's focus on diet and see what happens. And I advised him that you just have this milk and rice porridge and this green gram and rice porridge. So switch them, and you have morning milk and rice porridge in morning and evening, and moong dal rice porridge in afternoon. And tell me what happens after 1 month. So after 1 month, he emailed me. I still have that email. He said that his nails, they were black. They turned black, and now they're pink. After 1 month, the nails regained their natural color. So food can actually lead to such tremendous detox.
Right.
And there were no medicines. You see, and I have seen so many such examples. And after this, I changed my orientation. I changed my food. I changed my lifestyle. After that, I was able to get through almost all disorders that I had. Yes, I forgot. I was pre-diabetic, so now I'm completely normal. Diabetes is like a big problem today, and now I can guarantee that you can cure preliminary stages of diabetes by food completely. I completely don't have any doubt.
Okay, that's so amazing, and I mean that's so fascinating. Your story is from childhood, and I understand that the childhood illness and trauma, of thinking about dying, and from that fear, came the path towards Ayurveda somehow, and then eventually you landed up in this whole world of Ayurveda, which is fascinating. I keep on hearing stories about people how they've Ayurveda changed their lives, and just by realizing the basics of life, I would say, as you said, as simple as just eating the right food, and you can cure so much. And that's really, really fascinating to me. And so, Kanika, if I ask you, what is Ayurveda? What is Ayurveda based upon?
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. See, Ayurveda, I have actually, this word has such a deep meaning, Ayu and Veda. Normally we say that it's okay, that it's the science of life. But then, why it is the science of life? Ayurveda is not exclusively medicine. Like, for example, modern medicine started by helping people cure diseases. So that is the major focus. When you fall sick, you get cured. So that's the major focus. But Ayurveda is science of life. It's not science of medicine only.
Right.
That means you start prevention. Okay, it is a huge literature available in Ayurveda about how to preserve the health, which I believe is such a unique concept, because when you're focusing on prevention, let me take the example of vaccines. Okay, so vaccines are for prevention, but every vaccine, it happens only when there is a big pandemic, many people have already died and stuff like that, right? So then you start researching, you get a vaccine. But till that time, a certain number of lives have already been lost.
Yeah, true.
However, there is a proactive approach to diseases, which is your immunity.
Right.
And this you cannot get by focusing on diseases. You cannot predict what kind of disease will happen next. You cannot predict what kind of mutation will happen in the viruses and bacteria. It's impossible. So when you focus on diseases, it's a regressive approach. The disease comes first and then you go curing it or preventing it. But in Ayurveda, the aim of Ayurveda says that preserve the health of the healthy and then cure the sick. So when you're preserving the health, you're not focusing on diseases. You're not even concerned about diseases. You're focusing on the body. And you are strengthening the body so that the body will cure disease.
Right.
And our body is very intelligent. Our body is very intelligent. There have been cases in corona pandemic where people, they got infected, but they did not show any symptoms. You see, the body was able to handle that direct attack.
Right. Yeah.
So even in my case, I got infected not in the first wave, but in the second wave.
Okay.
And I had fever for 3 days, and after that, it was gone.
Right.
So many people, they face such severe problems. Many of them died, even with intensive care and so on and so forth. But some people survived, and in spite of getting infected, they are still there.
Right.
So this is the factor which you can get by focusing on health.
Right.
Improve the immunity, improve the strength of the body. You see, what is vaccine? Vaccine is nothing but a virus. It is attenuated virus, weakened virus, which you take inside your body. The body then studies the virus and makes the antibody. What if I am able to take the live virus, and my body has so much of strength that it studies the virus and it makes a antibody, and all this is done so fast. It's just like a very intelligent kid who can solve a complicated math problem immediately.
Right.
So this is the approach to exams, not about getting cheat sheets.
Right. Yeah.
So vaccine is a kind of cheat sheet, but immunity is the real intelligence, the real metabolic intelligence. So Ayurveda focuses on immunity. Ayurveda focuses on health. Ayurveda focuses on body and not pathogens.
Right.
So this is Ayurveda. This is Veda. The word Veda means wisdom. So it's the wisdom of
life.
Wisdom of life. I would like to extend it.
Yeah, sure.
So Ayurveda is not about health. Okay. If you look at the aim of Ayurveda in another words, it says that Sukham Dukham Ayus Tasya Hitayitam Manam Cha Tacha Yatruktam Ayurveda Sa Uchyate. It means that the science that elaborates on the Sukha Ayu. Sukha Ayu means comfortable life, the uncomfortable life, the beneficial life and the non-beneficial life. So this is so detailed because Sukhayu is a healthy life, because health is considered to be the first comfort of
Right.
life. When you have health is the primary comfort according to Vedic literature. So Sukhayu means a perfect, comfortable life, and Dukhayu means uncomfortable life, which might be unhealthy life, might be life with a lot of financial problems, with a lot of sorrow. It can be anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So one is comfortable life, one is uncomfortable life, one is beneficial life. That means a life that gets you beyond the karmic cycle, that gets you beyond the karmic bondage and leads you to salvation. Ayurveda was essentially born as a tool to assist the yogis to have an extended duration of life, because when you have an extended duration of life, there are more chances for you to get salvation.
Okay.
So that was the real purpose of Ayurveda.
Wow, that's very fascinating.
So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you see, Ayurveda says that there is a beneficial life. A beneficial life is the one in which you reach close to salvation, you do a lot of good deeds, you help a lot of people, and so you get through that cycle of birth and rebirth. That is a beneficial life. Non-beneficial life is the life of some corrupt person who is continuously harming people, extracting things from them and causing a lot of sorrow. So this is non-beneficial life. Now, there is such a beautiful permutation and combination that you can make. A non-beneficial life can be very comfortable. A corrupt person can have a very, very comfortable life. He might even be healthy.
Right.
And a beneficial life might be laced with all kind of problems. For example, a monk, he sleeps on the floor or eats, he begs to eat or does something like that. Or someone who is very nice person, he falls sick. So that is a beneficial but not comfortable life. And whatever is the duration, whatever can be the duration of such lives, And what is good for each of these lives is the science that tells you about all these things is Ayurveda. And I will tell you that the medicine for a monk will be different. The medicine for a corrupt person will be different. The treatment for a corrupt person will be donation.
Right. Yeah.
You donate because a corrupt person will have lot of mental issues. He will have a feeling of guilt. He might have a feeling of shame. He might have depression. A monk will not have depression.
Yeah.
He might have normal disorders. Okay. So the diseases for a beneficial life will be different. The diseases for non-beneficial life will be different. The treatment for both of them will be different. And you see, even the ideal life practices will be different. For example, most of people think that non-vegetarian food is not recommended in Ayurveda, which is a myth. Ayurveda has books full of non-vegetarian recipes. How to cook chicken, how to cook lamb.
Oh, I never knew this.
How to cook peacock, duck,
okay.
Everything. There is a list of some 10-20 animals that are good to eat. Birds, elaborate description of how to cook birds. Even the ancient cookery books, like Manasullas, if you look at, these are the ancient cookery books, they define how to make Veshwar, that is the meat recipes.
Wow.
So, yeah, now the point is that if you are aiming for salvation, you would not eat this because there are three types of food. Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic. One is the meal that makes you balance, gives peace to your mind, brings peace to your mind. One is the meal that makes you very active, very alert, in fact hyperactive. So, and the third one, Tamasic, is the meal that makes you ignorant, makes you sleepy, something like that. Okay. So, if you are aiming for salvation, there are few people who aim for salvation. For them, hurting anyone will increase the karmic bondage.
Right.
So then they should not have meat.
Right.
Because they'll be killing, right? So their food will be different. It will be good for them. But if you give this sattvic meal, if you give the vegetarian and vegan meal to a person who is a soldier,
right,
he is going to fight. Okay, so he needs to have a amount of aggression.
Right.
He should not be very forgiving and peaceful and calm. I mean, that is always good to have a balanced mind. But in general, if you find people that I have seen that people who love eating meat, they are not evil people. But if they stop eating meat, they feel not so living, which is the description given to me by one person. I felt not living when I stopped eating meat. Because meat is the food for their body and their mind. Right now they are hyperactive. In the hyperactive state of mind, they need the food to, bring out what is there in their mind.
Right, yeah.
So a person who is going to fight, a person who is going to defend, or is going to be in any kind of aggressive business, he might benefit from meat.
Yeah, I mean, it could also be as simple as, a soldier or someone who is doing hard work. They need to get the protein. Yeah, correct. I mean, of course, there are vegetable and vegan option as well. But you need to fulfill the requirement of your body in the right way. What you need and what you do not need. So yeah, it makes sense. So,
yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure, please.
Okay, I'm a vegan by choice, where Ayurveda is all about milk and ghee. Ghee is considered to be elixir, honey is considered to be elixir, but I'm a vegan by choice. Why? Because again, this is good karma today to be vegan. It's good karma because we are mistreating everything. We are mistreating cows, we are mistreating honeybees, we are mistreating all organisms for our own sake. So today Ayurveda stands for veganism because it is good karma to be vegan. Yeah, so if you really want to have a beneficial life, go for veganism and not vegetarianism, not have milk, not have ghee. Leave the milk and ghee for small kids because they might need it more.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that a hardworking person should have meat. A hardworking person can survive on pulses and proteins like that. But you see, there is a person who has a lot of hyperactivity in his mind. And food helps you to reflect food helps you to manifest your life.
Right.
It helps you to manifest your body. It helps to manifest karma. You see, there are some children who will never learn unless and until you punish them.
Right.
So people who are, I mean, it might sound a little negative, but people who are very fond of eating meat, okay? So they are going to go around a cycle of karma and understand by natural process that it is not good. Unless you don't need to force yourself that, okay, I don't want to eat meat because everyone is telling me not to eat meat, like that. So that is unnatural and it creates false ego. Sometimes, in India, there are lots of sages and monks who have renounced everything, but they keep cherishing it in their mind.
Right.
And it leads to a lot of mental complication. So if you want to eat meat, go ahead and eat meat. Do not change yourself because you want to show something to someone else or appear to be a nice person and so on and so forth. If you want to eat meat, go ahead and eat meat, because that eating meat will take you through a cycle of karma and you'll come to realize that it's not good.
Wow.
I don't know if we have time for a short story.
Yeah, please go on.
Okay. So, Gautam, this Buddha,
Yeah.
He recounts his many previous lives to his disciples, and he says that, in one life I was a prince, and I was going to get married, so there was a lot of preparation happening in the kitchen. I went to check the preparations, and I saw one lamb. The lamb, it laughed, and then it cried. So so Buddha went to the lamb and asked that, why did you laugh and why did you cry? So lamb said that, once the lamb was the prince, okay, and there were 1,000 lambs that were killed during his marriage ceremony for feast. So he had to be born 1,000 times as lamb and get killed to get over that karma. And this is the last birth. So now if I get killed, I'll be relieved from being born as lamb again.
Wow.
But I'm crying for the prince whose marriage ceremony is today, because again he will have to. So you see, it's not wrong to eat meat. It's not wrong to eat meat. If you feel like eating meat, go ahead and eat meat. But there is a cycle of karma, and that definitely works. I believe in karma. And so whatever you do, you have to come back. So I don't want to kill anyone and come back to pay for that. So you see, that is so that's why the food for everyone is different. Food that helps the mind to manifest. So you see, Ayurveda is so deep. When I started understanding Ayurveda, I think it has no limits. You can just go on understanding. And now I thought that I have completed my BA, MS, my graduation in Ayurveda, but now I feel that I have not covered even the first chapter of Charak Samhita. I have not understood that.
Yes, that's so amazing. That's so amazing. And there are things that you told about Ayurveda. There's so many dimensions to Ayurveda, and which even few of the things even I didn't know about earlier. And, it's so vast and it's so fascinating how it connects with the spirituality part of the things. Because when people talk about Ayurveda in general, you'll see people posting, about Ayurvedic food and, talking about living healthy lifestyle. But then how deep it is, how connected it is to your karma, to your soul, it's so beautiful. This practice is. If I
would like to add.
Yes, please.
Can I? I'm sorry, this is the last thing. Okay. I really want to add this. That there is such benevolence in Ayurveda that even a meat-eating person, there are preparations prescribed for him so that he might not get a stomach upset after eating.
That's great. So, I will ask you, get some recipes from you then.
Great,
so that I can reduce my guilt of meat eating to some extent.
Okay.
No, that's awesome. That's really amazing. So, Kanika, if I may ask, what is the one most amazing benefit of Ayurveda for anyone practicing or getting into Ayurveda or trying to learn about Ayurveda that you would say that's one thing that is for sure will improve in your life?
One thing for sure that improved in my life is a sense of peace.
Right.
Peace.
Amazing.
You know why? Because peace brings health. Now I completely subscribe to this idea that peace brings health. And if you look at it scientifically, there are two kinds of systems. Sympathetic nervous system, which is the emergency mode of the body, and parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and repair mode. So when you are stressed, you are in the emergency mode. And the more blood is supplied to your muscles and to your vital organs, like, for example, if you were in a forest and you felt scared, if there is a lion or something, there will be more blood which will be supplied to your muscles and to your reaction system in the brain.
Right.
So the brain doesn't think then. It will just start running like crazy. Okay. So this is the emergency mode, but in this emergency mode, the digestive system is suppressed, the excretory system is suppressed, because I don't think you'll go peeing when you see a lion.
Yeah.
So, these systems, these essential systems are suppressed. And so you don't digest properly, don't excrete properly, don't feel hunger, don't feel thirst. Yeah. So, unfortunately, most of the people, they live in this emergency mode for very, very long time. For example, if you're working in office, you're continuously in that emergency mode if your target is not achieved.
Right.
So your digestive system is compromised for very, very long time, probably for years. Your excretory system is compromised. You're not getting nutrition and you're not eliminating toxins. And what is the result of that is so many disorders. We have more disorders today than we have some 50 years back. People were relatively healthy. They were relatively less stressed. But if you are able to switch to the parasympathetic mode, which is the rest and repair mode, the rest and repair mode supplies more blood to your intestine, your digestion works better, your excretion works better, there is more replacement of the cells, the rejuvenation of the body tissues, your skin looks younger. So you'll see a person who's not stressed will have youthful skin and will have a good hair and all these things.
Yeah.
So it naturally results in health. And if you have a disease and you are able to switch your body to the rest and repair mode, the body will heal the disease.
Right. Yeah. No, that's.
So you see, we have so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have so many people who have cured cancer by just being happy. I don't know. I saw that in this law of attraction. That one lady, she got her cancer cured by just feeling happy and doing things like this. So it really works. So what Ayurveda brings to you, if you really follow the real Ayurveda, it brings you peace. And also at the same time, because this is very important. If you don't have peace, now even good food will not help.
Right.
Because you'll not absorb.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess I have, I've really experienced this, and several times in my life, every time when I'm stressed out or, I'm over a long period, you might be stressed for some time and then it's, it goes off and you're fine. But, over longer period of time when you are stressed regularly, then things start to manifest in physical ways, pain in your body, your digestion goes off, and then your mood goes off. So that's really very true, I guess, what you're saying. So yeah, I mean that's so amazing that Ayurveda brings peace more than anything else, and I guess that is something that is needed in the world most today. And okay, Kanika, if I ask you what can be the 5 easy Ayurveda practice, because people find it difficult to change their lifestyle, and if they are trying to get into Ayurveda or they can benefit from 5 Ayurvedic simple daily Ayurvedic practices that they can do, what would those practices be?
First thing I'll say is that these 5 Ayurveda practices can change for everyone, because essentially every person is different. Every body is different.
Right.
So, for example, for me, Neti might be very good because, I'm Kapha Prakriti and I have a tendency to deposit a lot of mucus. So for me, Neti will be different. If you are with the Prakriti, the water detox intestinal wash might be good. So these are, for getting the 5 best practices, I suggest that you visit a physician. But in general, what I can say is that waking up early. See, simple things can change your life. So I would not recommend, go eat this medicine or practice some very, very complicated yoga position. Because simple things, Ayurveda is basically very, very simple. So waking up early morning makes a huge change. If you really want to avert all kinds of respiratory disorders, all kinds of breathing disorders, sinusitis, migraine, all kinds of head disorders, please wake up before sunset. If you wake up before sunrise, you will eliminate possibility for all kind of respiratory disorders, all kind of disorders that happen in the head region. Whether it's cough and cold, sinusitis, migraine, dementia, so on and so forth. Because this is the time when the cleansing vayu, there are 5 types of vata dosha. So cleansing vayu is active in this region. And when you wake up, you will see, if you wake up at 4 o'clock, you will see that a lot of mucus will easily come out of your nose. A lot of draining, I have suffered from mild sinusitis, and I could feel that that mucus getting drained from my chambers when I woke up early morning. So, when you wake up early morning, you remove all kapha-related disorders, you remove all mucus-related disorders. Yes. So this is one practice, wake up early. So this is one practice, wake up before sunrise. Alright? So,
okay.
And the next practice is, have the biggest meal of the day at lunchtime. And lunchtime is like somewhere right from 11 o'clock in the morning to 2 maximum. Alright. In this range, you should have your lunch. And the lunch should be the biggest meal of the day. Why? Because according to Ayurveda, our body is like a sunflower. Our metabolism increases as the sun rises. And it decreases as the sun goes down. So, according to this logic, our metabolism is the highest during the noon time. And when you eat a heavy meal at this time, it is very easy to digest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the momentum of our digestive fire is very high. Even for an aged person, the best time to have the big meal is lunchtime. So you must have your biggest meal of the day at lunch, and not in evening, and not in the breakfast.
Okay.
Why? Because, so during the breakfast, the system is just waking up. So it needs some initial nutrition, which is easy to process and give you energy fast and makes you ready for the day. So digestion, say for example, a restaurant kitchen has a menu for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. So in the morning time, if you order a big meal, then probably you might not get it because they don't have that thing in the morning, okay? Because they are just cleaning up or they're starting everything, so they might cook you something which is easily available. That's why it's very good to have the biggest meal during the lunch. And another, I think, third very important point is never drink water immediately before or immediately after a meal, especially a big meal. And there is a very, very beautiful scientific reason for this. The reason is that when you are hungry, there is a lot of acid inside your stomach, which is creating the irritation. That's how you feel hunger. But if you put water, especially cold water, in your stomach, you will dilute this acid. You will make this acid diluted. If you make it diluted, the acid will not be strong enough to break down all the things that you're eating.
Right.
Okay. So there will be one problem. This might result into bloating, indigestion, and so on and so forth. Because people drink water immediately before the meal. If you have to drink water, do not drink a large amount of water and do not have a practice of drinking water every day before the meal. Once in a while, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and even if you have to drink water, drink a few sips of water, not a glass full of water.
Okay.
And why you should not drink after the meal is because the digestive enzymes, they have an optimal temperature. Optimal temperature, when the digestion is already started, there's an optimal temperature that is maintained in the stomach. And when you are pouring water over that digestive fire, you are actually, especially chilled water. And people have this horrible habit of eating ice cream as a dessert. You know?
Yeah.
So then you're actually putting it, you can picture it like putting wet log on a fire. It will definitely put down the fire.
Put the fire off.
So if you do that, it will not hurt you immediately. But over the years, you will see a lot of digestive problems coming. So these are the things.
Yeah.
This is, you should never drink water before a meal or after the meal. However, you can drink something in the middle to dilute everything.
Okay.
And another very, very important thing is never to have a big meal after sunset. It follows the same logic. You see, the body metabolism goes down after the sunset. The body is preparing to go to sleep. Yes. So imagine there is an employee who is done for the day. He's going to leave in 5 minutes, and suddenly you put a big pile of files in front of him. So you see that I don't think that person will be very happy. Same goes for the digestive system. The system is shutting down for the night. And body has to do a lot of other things. It has to repair the broken down tissues. You know, you have to grow for children and so on and so forth. So if you have a heavy meal which requires a lot of digestion, oily, spicy, pizza and all these things, then the other work of the body, the cleansing and repairing work, it gets hindered. And that is why if you see people who have frequently heavy meals at night, after a few years, the aging catches up. You know, they start to look a little older than what they should be. Okay. So the fourth thing is that you must never have a big meal at night. And these are very simple rules. There's nothing complicated about it. They can be easily followed. And the last rule is that meditate before you go to sleep.
Okay.
This, I have seen tremendous benefit from this, because sleep is the time when the body heals itself. And therefore, it is very important to have a good sleep. You must go to sleep by some 10, if you are having a normal life. So, because I have heard about breatharians and people who are fruitarians, you normally have very less sleep because they are very healthy. Their body doesn't need that much of repair.
Right.
So they can do with less sleep also. But if you are a normal person eating 3 times a day and doing a lot of manual work or something like this, please go to sleep by 10 p.m. and it will help you. It will help you in long term. There might be a lot of work pending. There might be, lots of things are there to do at night. But please go to sleep, wake up by 4 and do whatever you have to do. So, and it is difficult to change this. Whatever I'm saying might not be very easy for people to change. And that's why I suggest that you go for step-by-step change, which is easier. If a person is there who is sleeping at 2 o'clock at night, out of fun, he doesn't have any work at night, but he's just, browsing the mobile or playing video games, and then he falls asleep at 2 a.m. at night. He cannot change his routine immediately. So if you're listening and if you feel that, oh my God, suddenly I have to go to sleep at 10 p.m., that's not possible. Your body will react.
Right.
Yeah, it is in tune, in a different tune. So you have to gradually set the right tune. And so you can start by going to sleep at 1:30 or 1:45 a.m. And then after 5 to 7 days, go to sleep at 1 a.m. and then 12:30, then 12 a.m. and so on, and gradually, you see, it is okay if you change your habits over the years.
Yeah.
It's okay. And there are relapses, but then what makes sense is, getting up and starting again. So these are the 5 important advices.
Okay.
One is waking up early in the morning and having lunch as the biggest meal, not drinking water before and after the meal, and sleep, and having a light dinner.
Okay.
So these are the 5 most important things.
That's amazing. That's so amazing. And I guess our followers and viewers will definitely get some actionable tips to follow and, make their life healthy. Okay. So thank you, Kanika, for coming to our podcast, sharing such valuable knowledge and wisdom about Ayurveda. So many fascinating things. There was a lot for even me to learn, and I would definitely want to have you in future so that we can, dig deeper and understand more about Ayurveda and help people know about Ayurveda and, benefit from Ayurveda. Thanks a lot for coming on the show, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.